Ekabo and welcome to the Ifa Orisa tradition discussion. Aboro, Aboye, Aboshishe. All right, and to open, I would start, of course, with an Oriki. All right, Oranmila eni ki oni woripetu. Moniki oni woripetu. Oni bi oni wori embapetu. Oni ajerere nima en wo ile. Oni ki oni wori. Ba petu. Moniki oni iwori petu. Oni bi oni wori ba petu. Oni ayarere. Eni ma en wole. Oni ki oni wori petu. Moniki oni wori petu. Oni bi oni wori ba petu. Oni omotutu eni ma en wole. Oni ki oni wori petu. Moniki oni wori petu. Oni bi oni wori ba en petu. Oni bogbo ire eni ma en wo ile. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Okay, today's subject is Ori. It's going to be a pretty short stream. All right, and I want all my regular viewers to know that this would be the last stream for this calendar year. All right, I will, however, encourage those who follow the streams regularly while I am away from doing the program. You may look at all of the streams for this year on the Ile Ijuba E.G. Ogbe page on YouTube. All of the streams I've done so far is available live, not live, but the recordings would be on that YouTube page. Also, there are several Facebook pages: the Ifa Orisa Tradition Discussion Group of Trinidad and Tobago, the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network, the Ifa Bemero Home of Ifa Orisa Tradition, both on YouTube and Facebook, Ifa Orisa Community Congress, the Traditional Herbal Health Network International, the Ifa Orisa Institute of Sacred and Divine Science, the Autochthonous Island People Traditional Community, and the Bwe Medzi Family Temple on YouTube. All right, so while I am not doing the lives, for those who wish to learn, you can review and make notes and become familiar with the lessons that I have given so far. All right, so tonight's subject is Ori. And I'm going to read a couple of essay Ifas from the Iwe Fun Odu Ifá, which is the book of Odus that I'm using. I'm going to read maybe about 3 essay Ifas from A.G. Ogbe, right? And most of them practically are about Ori. After I read from the Iwe Fun Odu Ifá, I'm going to read some information from a book by Olusegun Daramola. The name of the book is How to Do Igbo Ori. All right, or How to Reconnect to Your Spiritual Essence, which is a book I would recommend for all Orishas and Babal Orisha, because this is an essential book that gives you the practical information you need to know how to connect with your essence. All right. The book also gives Odus, and it explains a lot. One of the reasons why this book come highly recommended from me is because the style of this particular author is he uses etymology with the Yoruba language, and he explains how the words in Yoruba are compounded and the elements that are a part of the word. This way, he doesn't only just give you a transliteration, but he explains how he came or arrived at the English transliteration so that we can fully comprehend the concepts that he writes about. All right, so let me start the lesson. It's not going to be a very long lesson, but it's a very important lesson, and this is the reason why I have chosen this week to discuss Ori. All right, I was in fact playing around with several ideas. I wanted to discuss Isheshe, I wanted to discuss Ewan and Mary, and several ideas, went through my mind. But I decided this should be probably one of the most important lessons that I would be teaching. So I would ask all the viewers to pay very close attention to the things that I read. All right? The first verse from Ejiogbe says, the first essay Ifa says, good medicine stays. Told a certain person way back when tears of compassion refused the curse of barrenness, that she should take a long-necked jar, and when her sacrifice was done, go to the place where water seeps slowly, slowly until the womb is filled. She sipped the dreaming water, and they called her child Osun, the generous river. All right, that is the first essay. The second one, the second essay, this Odu contains the story of how Ori, or head, was the only divinity that broke the kola nut that Orunmila kept at his shrine. All right. Now, I have read this in a previous stream, right? But today, all right, I have to read it again because it is directly relevant to the subject. All right. Ori's wish was for a permanent abode or home and plenty of followers. Upon hearing the news that he finally broke the kola nut, all the other divinities agreed, since they all tried to break the nut, that the head was the right divinity to the kola nut. Almost immediately, the hand, the feet, body, stomach, chest, neck, etc., each of which before then had distinct identities, all assembled and decided to go and live with the head. Together, they all carried the head high above as the king of the body. It is on account of the role played by Orunmila in his fortune that the head touches the ground to defer and revere to Orunmila to this day. All right? The third essay, Ifa. It says, the benevolence of the young Ejiogbe made him so popular that his house was streaming with callers night and day. He healed the sick, made sacrifice for paupers to become rich, helped the barren to have children, and safely delivered all pregnant women who demanded his assistance. These activities earned him admiration from the beneficiaries of his magnanimity. He also developed enemies that were envious and plotted against him. Ejiogbe went for divination and was told to make sacrifice to his Ifa with a basket of snails. Ejiogbe Awo collected arrow leaves and mashed them in the snail's liquid for Ejiogbe to bathe with. After the sacrifice, he began to live a peaceful life. All right, I'm going to read one more essay, Ifa, and then I'm going to go straight into the lesson. All right, just bear in mind that the Ori, which is the subject tonight, is your head. All right. Death held me and left me. Sickness tried me and left me. No one eats tortoise along with its shell. No one eats a ram with its horn. The shell of the snail is kept after eating its meat. I have survived the evil plans of my enemies. All right? And we should gather from the essay Ifas that I've read that 3 and 4 are directly connected to each other. All right? And 4 is an Oriki or a chant that can be used as a protection Oriki. All right? I'm going to read it once more for those who probably want to take notes or rerun the video a few times. It says, death held me and left me. Sickness tried me and left me. No one eats tortoise along with its shell. No one eats a ram together with its horn. The shell of the snail is kept after eating its meat. I have survived the evil plan of my enemies. Serious-minded people do not listen to the birds singing the song of woe. Difficulties and problems brings out the best in man. Patience and sacrifice makes the impossible to become possible. Let me read the last part of the verse of the essay. Serious-minded people do not listen to the birds singing the songs of woe. Difficulties and problems brings out the best in man. Patience and sacrifice makes the impossible to become possible. All right, just today, I was having a conversation with someone concerning the purpose of Ifa. And in explaining the purpose of Ifa, I explained to the person that no one has a perfect life. Life offers challenges so that we may develop character. All right, and as this essay Ifa brings out, it talks about patience and sacrifice making the impossible possible. All right, so that's it for the Ewefun Odu Ifá essay Ifas that relate to the Ori and for the protection of the Ori. So now I'm going to go into what is Ori. All right. One can be translated from the word head in English language, but Ori, according to Ifa, is beyond the physical head. All living entities, not just human beings, have their own Ori. The physical Ori that house our eyes, nose, and mouth is the physical representative of the original Ori within. Ori is the most sacred altar of communication and interaction. All right? Ori is closely related to destiny or fate because every details of one's destiny is encoded in one's Ori. Before we arrive to the physical world, all right, and for those who are familiar with this piece I'm going to read, I did a video on Ayamo, Akunlegba, and Akunleya. You can go back and look at the video where you will have a full explanation of what I'm going to read here. All right. We arrived to the physical world. We all chose our Ori individually. No Ori is created equal. If an individual chose a bad Ori, life on earth would not be so palatable. But with a good Ori, a lot of things would be easy for such person. Orunmila have the power to readjust a bad head to something meaningful. Ori can become Orisa as time goes on with the right expression of such persons on earth. All Ori is a potential Orisa. That's what gave birth to the word Orisa. Okay? Now I'm moving on. Any Orisada, those who are uniquely chosen. Your activities on earth at the moment will show if you are chosen or not. Keep doing good and stay on the positive side of history. Ifá says, Iwo Orisha, Emi Orisha, Orisha di Meji Adi Ebora, Di Ifá fun Odi Tiri Orun Bowaye, Ero Bogbo, Epejo Esin Oripoba, which translates, you deity, I deity. Two deities becomes divine. Consulted Ifá for the Godhead when coming from heaven to earth. All mankind assembled and worshiped the Godhead as king. All right, so this is another term that you would hear sometimes in reference to Ori. You would hear the word Ori in relation to destiny. You would hear Ori in relation to the word character. And you will sometimes hear the term Godhead in reference to the Ori. But let me take the time off to explain the term Godhead, because most people hearing this would think of Trinity. That is not the concept of Godhead used here. The concept of Godhead that is used here is in reference to the fact that our Ori is the part of us that came from Olodumare. So it is literally a part of Olodumare on our body. So that head is, in fact, Oludumare's head, or God's head, that we borrowed in order to come to fulfill our destiny. Again, if you want the details on what actually happens before we come to earth, you would have to go back and review the video on Ifá's concept of Ayamo, Akunlegba, and Akunleya. All right, let me continue reading here. Yoruba. All right, let me go back up. Everyone embodies sacred deity, and not until one is awakened to the divinity within, every form of external worship and veneration would just only be for fun. For anyone to truly practice the consciousness of a particular deity and Orisa, such person must first practice the consciousness of his or her own divinity. This I explained when I taught the lesson of Ayamo. All right, it is very important to know that your Ori is your personal divinity. And before you could worship any energy, the Imole, the ancestors, the Orishas, you first have to connect with your own divinity or your own essence. All right? Let me continue reading. All right, Yoruba. Orilabo Keatobo Orisha. All right, the translation is we worship the Godhead within before worshiping the deities. Our head is the first deity. Our consciousness must be acknowledged and even worshipped, as that would direct our path to the recognition of various divinities. The ancestors lay down as part of the ancient wisdom the guide to which we can all venerate our consciousness, and commonly in traditional practices now and again, we worship our head to clear our path for a seamless journey in life. Okay? There is nothing wrong with consulting your Ori and your head and paying respects to your Ori and your head. Alright? Ori can be venerated with many materials as long as you know the essence of that material, and sometimes you do not have to always wait to have all the materials before venerating your Ori. You can present anything to your Ori, even if it's just water. Water have life in it. Cool water can be offered to your Ori. Honor your Ori with words of adoration. All right, I will not go any further with this lesson. It would be good if we could get the book and we could study how to do Igbo Ori by Olusegun Daramola. All right, it would also be good for Orishas and Babal Orishas to get the book Ewe Fun Odu Ifá. All right, so that basically is an introduction to Ori. For persons who are interested in knowing more about Ori, we have the fundamentals of Ifá classes every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. All right, you cannot just come and to the class. You have to register, and then your registration has to be accepted. Then you will join the group, and from there you will be informed further what is necessary. All right. This is one of the book. This is called Ewe Fun Odu Ifá. All right. This collection of Odu Ifá essays, all right, or scriptures, sacred scriptures of West Africa. All right. This particular book was put together in Benin Republic and Togo. So what happened there is one of the royal persons, from one of the royal families, what he did is he went to all the various Babalaos and asked them to give him or recite to him essay Ifás. So this is a very great collection of essay Ifás. All right. The other book is What to Do or How to Do Ibori by Olusegun Daramola. All right. Now, as I was saying, for persons who wish to learn more and you want to learn the fundamentals, you register. What you have to do to register is you send me a message with your name and a telephone number on WhatsApp where I can contact you and give you the information that you need in order to be a part of the classes. All right. And that's basically it. Again, I'm reminding you all that I would be taking a hiatus for a while. And when I get back online, I would continue teaching some aspects of the fundamentals. The details would be taught in class for those who are interested. And then for those who are interested in doing Hand of Ifa or Ishefa, you will also have additional training in classes before the rites are performed. All right, with that, I would like to thank you all for joining me this afternoon. I would remind you, you do good for yourself. You do bad for yourself. All right, it is important that we learn to live in love and unity among ourselves, as our survival depends on our ability to come together. May Oludumare bless you. May he bless your offsprings. May he bless your family. May he bless your community. And may he bless us all as one nation of people. Odabo.